Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Living in Utah live question and answer session here on Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Time. I actually just ran in the door and ran down the stairs. I just got home like about 7 minutes ago, so I'm like 2 minutes late tonight. But great day in Utah today. Temperatures are in about the 90-degree range. We've backed off from the 100-degree days a little bit, but I think they're due to come back a little bit. So this is the opportunity. You're welcome to ask any kind of questions you want. State of Utah, real estate, investing, whatever you would like, and I will try to come up with an answer for you. I also want to talk tonight about a new product that has hit the market, is going to hit the market here, and being talked about, and I think it's going to come into reality, which is a 40-year mortgage. At the moment, they are not talking about offering the 40-year mortgage as like a mortgage product in general. They want to use it for the mortgage moratorium that's going on right now to stop foreclosures. And the idea behind it is if you're still in the home and you're not making the payments, whatever payments you're behind, they're going to tack that onto your loan, and they will then change it to a 40-year mortgage to give you a lower payment. Lots of thoughts run through my mind with this. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is it would prevent a vast amount of possible foreclosures, and that's what they're hoping for. The other thing would be, so it would continue keeping the market strong and not have foreclosures, which, you know. Good thing, bad thing, I'm on both sides of the fence with that. So, but I think what it's going to lead to, though, down the road is this being a product that will be offered as another mortgage product, like a 10-year, a 15, a 30-year mortgage, and a 40-year. That's where I think it will head, which, in my opinion, just my opinion, it will fuel the market even more. The buying power for somebody would go up tremendously. So, for instance, if you were qualified right now for, say, $500,000, maybe you're now qualified for $600,000, $700,000. They'd run the numbers, and people would all be able to bump up in price. So, it's 40 years seems like a very bad idea and will greatly increase the overall price of a home. Yes, and that's what I think will happen. But I just think that's the next step along the line. So, yeah, it's good. I mean, okay. Let's answer this question here. Do you know how we would go about renting a house while out of state? We are wanting to move to Utah, but not really sure how to go about it. Yes. When you're out of state, I've actually, on my rentals, over the years received applications from people out of state. No problem. Don't have a problem with that. So with technology now, I think it's a lot easier. So you would go on a website. What I'd recommend, one of the websites is a website called ksl.com. It's a local news station in Utah. It's free to advertise items and homes, etc. You will find that a lot of landlords in Utah put their rentals on that property, and along with some of the other sites. But you would basically look at the pictures and submit an application and pay your deposit, etc., and it can be done while you are out of state. You do have the advantage now with some modern technology going on Google Earth, places like that. Get yourself right on the street, see what the neighborhood feels like. overall shot, maybe try to pinpoint where you possibly, if you're working, where your employer would be, what kind of commute you would have, et cetera, et cetera. And if you want a little bit of help with that, by all means, you could always like shoot me an email sometime and say, you know, Mike, I'll be working at Autoliv in Salt Lake City, and I'm looking at a home right here. What kind of pros and cons do you think I would have? And I could roughly give you an idea, you know, roughly what your commute time is, possible traffic delays you might have, since I travel the valley quite a bit. So I could help you a little bit with some of that with the neighborhoods. But yeah, it can be done. It can be done out of state. So if you have a landlord possibly that could videotape the place for you too, that would be great also. So yeah, that's a couple of the things that it can be done. It's being done all the time. So not impossible at all. So, and I guess what I would probably look at, get an idea, it's a rough idea where you will be working at. If you're retired, it'd be a little bit different, but where you're working, if you actually have to go into an office or a building, or are you work from home, and start the journey with some of the neighborhoods around the potential place. Or maybe you'd like to live in a particular school district, or maybe there's a particular church or activity or hobby that you have, and you would like to live in that particular area, so you have a shorter drive. So it's all about the commute. We have one major interstate runs north to south. When you try to go east to west, a little more difficult, especially in the Salt Lake Valley. Traveling from the east side to the west side, or vice versa, or north to the southwest side of Salt Lake City, is quite the journey sometimes. It really, really is. We don't have a whole lot of options as far as freeway systems to accomplish that with. We do have like I-215 that goes around part of Salt Lake City, which helps a little bit, but it can be challenging, different areas. All righty. Thank you. You're welcome anytime. Got my second COVID shot today. Wow. So I remember getting my second COVID shot, and it knocked me out. I was okay the day I got it. The next day, it was like I had the flu or something like that. It really hit me hard. So probably from about lunchtime onwards, I got up in the morning because my wife had her shot before I did a few weeks before, and she was really sick from it. And I got up the second day going, oh, I feel great. But boy, after 12 o'clock, it kicked in. And by 4, 5, 6 o'clock, I couldn't even move anywhere. So, but I personally thought the shot was well worth it. So I'm glad to be vaccinated from the coronavirus. Okay, you will be working in Layton. So a lot of options. Layton's a great city. A lot of surrounding cities around there to choose from. Kaysville, Clearfield, Clinton, Syracuse. Come off the top of my mind, places like Roy. All those cities are real close to Layton, and you would have a very short commute time to work if in those areas. It'd be very, very manageable. You could even go to areas like North Ogden, South Ogden, places like that, or maybe North Salt Lake. Your commute time's probably going to be 20, 25 minutes, depending on traffic. So I wouldn't like rule those areas out if you did want one of those areas. So cool. We have been looking for a house for our aging parents, but so many in Davis and Weber counties have steep stairs due to basements. That's correct. Do single family homes exist without stairs to the main floor? Yes. So pretty much like a patio home. There's a lot of patio homes that You drive in your garage, walk right in your house or in your front door. There's no stairs. But with that type of patio home, there will be no basement. With a basement, you have to raise the home out of the ground. So, and it depends on how far down. If they've dug, it depends on how far they've made. If it's like a half basement, half underground. If it's most of the basement is out of the ground, you're going to have more stairs to get into the house, or from the garage into the house. So I would say there's a few patio homes that basically no stairs at all. I've walked in quite a few that you walk right in the front door, or you park in your garage and walk right in the house. There's no stairs. You do not get a basement with those. So. All right, Mr. Z. Swiss Federal Council announced Lockheed Martin F35 Lightning II is the aircraft selected from its new fighter aircraft competition. The contract is worth $6.53 billion. Wow. And I'm not familiar with the Swiss Federal Council, but I'm assuming it's something to do with Switzerland. But that'd be a great contract for Lockheed Martin. I believe when they built that aircraft, it was designed to be a global aircraft sold to a variety of nations and a variety of forces, where you would have a carrier operation one that could land on a carrier deck, one for the Marines that could hover. And I'm not 100% certain if those models are in existence, but that I believe was the original intention of the F-35. But that's great I think that's great for American business. It's great that we are exporting products to other countries and creating jobs in the United States, usually well-paid jobs in the United States. Lockheed Martin premium company. So great. I'm all for it. Yes, Switzerland. Okay. Proves to be the best fighter jet in the world. Oh, cool. Yep. Recently I checked out 29th Street Trailhead, Waterfall Canyon. Yes, I've done Waterfall Canyon many times over the years. A word of caution, I have seen people die up there. They have climbed the waterfall and slipped off the rocks and fallen down, and there has been tragedy. So do not climb on the wet rocks, would be my advice. So, but yeah, Waterfall Canyon, great. Yeah, it's great. You get all the way up there and you get that cool breeze with the water off of it. It's beautiful. Great place to go. And by the way, if you're living in another state or another area, this trailhead, free, 100% free, 100%. So if you're looking for value for money, you can't beat that. And this is located in Ogden, Utah. You basically go up 29th Street, east towards the mountain, and you'll find the Waterfall Canyon trailhead located right there. There's a parking lot and everything for you. Hello, Governor. How is it going? It is going great. Busy day today. I just got in the house, actually. So, but things are going great. Plan on heading out of town here tomorrow afternoon a little bit. So for the July 4th, coming back on probably Sunday around noon, get out of town a little bit here. So what's the best home deals there? Wow. That is a loaded question. I think that most of the homes are still a great deal. So, and some people would probably disagree. They would probably think that homes in Utah is a little bit expensive. But let me just throw this out there. Townhome in Layton, Utah. And people sometimes say, well, it's not affordable for the younger generation. And this is my drawback, or my I can give you an exact example on a home, but I'll talk about the townhome first of all. Townhome, say $338,000, $340,000. Let's say you put down $50,000, leaves you $290,000, which would leave you a payment of probably, I'm guessing here, property tax, insurance, everything is probably a $1,400 payment. It's $1,400 to $1,500, let's say. Well, the average new apartment in that area, let's say Layton, for example, the average apartment is about $1,300 to $1,700. So you get to own a property, have more square footage than what a apartment rental would be. So I still think that is good value in my opinion. Another example, the home was purchased at $355,000. I can tell you these exact numbers actually. It was $355,000. They put $50,000 down, left I believe about $305,000, somewhere around there. Property tax payment, insurance, everything, PMI, you name it. I believe their payment was $1,489. So I still think that it's a fairly good deal, especially when I compare it to what some rents are going for. So in the area where I'm all along the Wasatch Front. So, and a lot of this is due to the low interest rates, by the way. So if the interest rates go up, it's going to be a different ballgame, because that $355,000 home with $50K down could raise it from $1,400 to maybe $1,800 a month on a payment. So depending on what the rates would go up to. So I was warned about the rattlesnakes on the way up. The water was nice and cold. Yeah, I've heard about rattlesnakes, and I have never really seen any. So I haven't really noticed any. But usually too, though, I typically go with a group of people, so we're usually talking the whole way up. A lot of people always got questions about real estate or what's going on, so I'm not as observant when I'm walking up on some hiking trails. So sounds like my town. I pay $1,000 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, very, very similar. I think you would probably pay that in Utah for a 1-bedroom apartment. So you can get apartments in Utah for $1,000, $1,100. Maybe some of the ones that were built a few years ago. The new ones that are being built, we've got a lot of new construction going on apartments here. It's easy to pay $1,500, $1,700 for one. I talked to somebody who was paying $2,100 on a 3-bedroom apartment, one of the newer ones, and they're really nice. I mean, okay, Frank, Salt Lake City, NBA Summer League is back at Vivint Arena again this summer. Pumped. Do you know of any other big events like concerts or parades or whatever coming to the state? We're really just starting to get into that. The state is has been opening up. In July, we have Garth Brooks here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, where the University of Utah football team plays. Big concert, very big concert. So we're starting to get performers back in the swing. And I believe with the Garth Brooks concert, it's not going to be like socially distanced seating where they're going to block off X amount of seats. I believe. I'm not 100% certain on that. But yeah, Garth Brooks, July. And my guess would be it might be one of his first concerts. So not too sure what he's got on his plate. But yeah, that's what I've heard is I didn't know about the NBA Summer League actually coming, but good. We seem to be going full course now. I would imagine that Vivint Arena will start booking concerts now. So, but I actually would like to have went and saw Garth Brooks. We just didn't buy tickets. When they first announced it, there was some debate whether or not they were going to require masks or not. Being an outdoor concert in July with the heat, I can handle the heat, but I'm not a big fan of having a mask and sweating at the same time. So I did not buy tickets. So, and I believe now I'm being told that I don't think they're going to require masks. So I'm not sure on that though. So I kind of missed out on those tickets. Mantua Days on July 17th, fireworks over the lake. A good local band that has been together for decades. Okay. I didn't. Mantua is a beautiful area to go to. Let me pop up a map for anybody's out of state here. Oh, let's see what we got here. And I will give you an idea where we are at. It's a beautiful drive. I love the drive. I love this part of the country. All right. So as we look at a map, so we have Brigham City over here, and we have, somewhere over here will be Logan, Utah. Okay. So there's Logan, Utah in the area. We're talking about the northern part of the state. The border for Utah is somewhere just up here. Between Utah and Idaho. So when I'm looking at Mantua, you come out of Brigham City on your way to Logan, Utah. It's just outside of Brigham City, and they have a big lake, as you can see on the map right there. And I guess they're going to have a firework display over that. It's a beautiful part of the country. So if you are in the area, great. So really good. So, and I'm probably just going to pop back on that map real quick too. For the person who asked me about Layton, Utah, and some of the surrounding cities. Okay. So as we zoom in, so you've got Layton, Utah in itself is a fairly big city. You have the military base just north of it. You've got areas like Clearfield, Syracuse. There's Clinton up here, West Point, Kaysville, Utah, Fruit Heights. So these cities right here, Kaysville, Fruit Heights, Farmington, on most of the lists that I do, and I take this from companies on the internet that rate top cities in Utah, you'll find that particular area, Kaysville, Fruit Heights, Farmington, ranks very high on the list. So large area there. Layton, Utah, you could even probably choose areas. If you found something in Centerville, Bountiful, North Salt Lake, here to Layton, you're probably 20, 25-minute drive. Any of these areas into Layton, 10, 15 minutes, depending on how far west or east you are. But you could also choose areas to the north, like South Ogden, far west, North Ogden. About 20, 25-minute drive. Have a lot of options if you're living in or looking at renting in Layton, Utah, or working in Layton, Utah. Maybe you want a surrounding area. By the way, took your suggestion to bring my date to Rivolis Italiano. Oh, great, Mr. Z. I have not been to that place since before COVID. I love that place. So it's good to hear that they're still in business. I've driven by a couple times and it looked like they were still open. So I'm glad that they survived the shutdowns with COVID and the limited. Great place. Some great dishes for Italian food. It's definitely a great place if you enjoy Italian food. So, Mr. Z, how do you rank the Rivoli's restaurant in your opinion? I do like that place. I'll have to take a visit. It's funny you mentioned some of those things when I was. It's been a while since I've been to Andy's Greek Food, so we went last weekend. So it'd been a while, and I mentioned it last week or the week before, and so I decided, let's stop in there again. So see how they're doing. 5 of 5. Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. To me, it's authentic Italian. Some great dishes and some great desserts. So great place to go. Other things happening in the state of Utah. It was just announced that a company that I haven't heard about for a long time. So we've got Micron in the state of Utah. I drive by it all the time. It's located down in what we call Silicon Slopes, so pretty much south of Salt Lake City, north of Provo-Orem area. They have just been acquired by Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments, one of the original calculators that I can remember on the market. Haven't heard about Texas Instruments in a long time, but they are going to acquire the Micron chip plant for $900 million. So don't forget Wendys Japanese restaurant in Ogden. Great food. Okay. I have not been to Wendys, so I'll have to add that to the list. See what that is like. I'm always up to try something different. So in Utah, we've got the Micron chip plant being sold. We also have some problems down in St. George, Utah. They're asking residents right now to conserve power due to the threat of rolling blackouts. The extreme temperatures down there is causing some havoc on our electrical system in St. George, Utah. Very, and you know, Utah, northern Utah too, we've had some temperatures that have been a little warm. So the Highway Patrol had a article out saying that the speeding in Utah is a little bit ridiculous. They are seeing huge increases in the speeds being traveled on our interstates. They pointed out that they're finding people traveling 30 mile per hour over the speed limit, variety of times. So, and what else did they have? One man was stopped on I-80 going 109 miles per hour in his pickup truck while he was pulling a trailer. So we did have a little bit of problem the other week too. They mentioned the article. So we had about, I believe it was seven bullet bikes, motorcycles, going at a high rate of speed. The cops chased them and the bullet bikes outran the cops, and they just kept going and going and going. One of the individuals they caught, his girlfriend or wife was on the back of the bike, literally beating him up to stop because she was scared, and he got arrested, and pretty much they threw the book at him. They charged him with everything they could, but now they are wanting people to report if they know who any of the other riders are. They literally got away. They kept trying to chase them, and the bikes just would outrun the cop cars. So, yeah, interesting. Because if you get caught doing that, you're going to have some hefty fines and maybe some jail time. But I've always joked, the road going from Salt Lake City to Las Vegas, we have a lot of sections along there that are 80 mile an hour. You could travel along at 85 mile an hour and people will go by you like you are standing still. And they're doing 95, 100, 105, 110, just moving on that road. You're actually going 85, you're clocking off quite a few miles. You can make Las Vegas pretty quick. All right. We got long lines again at the national parks in Utah. They are trying to come up with some solutions. There are a lot of complaints down there. We just had some flash floods down by Zion, flooded out some places and some car parks and some homes. We do get that this time of year sometimes in that area. You get these flash floods and it just overwhelms the system. Okay. Any more questions this evening we can answer and help you with? Show you some more things on maybe I can show you some more things on the map when we were talking a couple areas as you're as you were going, when we're talking about this area up here in Brigham City and Mantua, it is a great place to travel if you are heading that way. If you plan on going to maybe the fireworks or something like that, they do in Logan, Utah, they do a very large car show. I believe it's just going to be Friday and Saturday this year. Cars come from a variety of states into, it's called the Cache Valley Cruise-In, held in Logan, Utah. Great drive, classic cars, hot rods, Cache Valley Cruise-In. They also usually will choose a night. I'm not too sure if it's going to be Saturday night or Friday night. You have to look it up. But they also, in the evening, the people that attend or other people, they will cruise the main street of Logan, Utah. People will grab a chair or something, park, and put a chair on the side of the road, and all night long you'll see all these different hot rods and classic cars driving down Main Street. So not familiar if they're going to do it Friday night or Saturday night for the July 4th weekend, but they will do it one of the two nights. So they have done in the past. So that's a beautiful area, that whole area. Mantua, some great riding if you own a UTV, dirt bike, anything like that. There's some great trails out of Mantua to go riding. You can go lots of places. Great place to take a UTV. So great. Well, I guess no more questions for this evening. So I'm going to call it a night, and we'll be back next week, same time. Thank you.